Hi friends, welcome to my channel Cherry's Physics. This is a very useful video for those who are aspiring to get government jobs. This MCQs will inculcate your basic physics knowledge. So let's get into the question and answer session. First question, the center of gravity of a triangular body lies at its dash. The answer is option A, centroid. Second question, the average value of acceleration due to gravity is dash. The answer is option A, 9.8 meter per second squared. Third question, a man carrying a cement bag on his back up a slope will dash. The answer is lean forward. Fourth question, when an object falls vertically, the initial velocity is dash. The answer is option D, 0. Fifth question, a ball is thrown vertically up, then the velocity at its maximum height is dash. The answer is 0. Sixth question, the force between the moon and the earth, which acts as a centripetal force keeping the moon in its orbit, is dash. The answer is gravitational force. Seventh question, an object released from a height of 19.6 meter strikes the ground with a velocity of dash. The answer is 19.6 meter per second. For this question, we can use the equations of motion equation v squared equal to u squared plus 2gh. By substituting the values, we can easily get the answer. Eighth question, a marble is thrown up vertically with an initial velocity of 9.8 meter per second. Then the maximum height reached is dash. The answer is 4.9 meter. Ninth question, the angular velocity of the seconds hand of a wristwatch is dash. The answer is option B, pi by 30 radian per second. In this problem, the angular displacement is 360 degree, that is 2 pi, and the time is 60 seconds. We can use the formula angular velocity omega equal to rate of change of angular displacement theta divided by t. By substituting the values, we get the answer as pi by 30 radian per second. 10th question, a cycle wheel 0.6 meter radius is moving with an angular velocity of 10 radian per second. Its linear velocity is dash. The answer is 6 meter per second. Here the given data are equal to, that is radius 0.6 meter and the angular velocity omega equal to 10 radian per second. By using the formula connecting the linear velocity and angular velocity is V equal to R omega. By substituting the values, we get the answer as 6 meter per second. 11th question, electromagnetic waves were experimentally produced at first by. The answer is option B, Hertz. 12th question, the property which is common to X-rays, gamma rays, IR rays, UV rays and visible light is dash. The answer is they all travel with the same velocity in vacuum. 13th question, a VHF very high frequency radio station broadcasts at a frequency of 90 MHz. The wavelength of the wave broadcast by the station is dash. The answer is 3.3 meter. In the problem, the given data is the frequency nu equal to 90 MHz, which is equal to 90 into 10 to the power 6 Hertz. And we know the velocity of light c equal to 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. We have to find the wavelength. The formula connecting these three is c is equal to nu lambda. This implies lambda equal to c by nu. By substituting the values, we get the answer 3.3 meter. 14th question. A copper plate is heated to 100 degrees Celsius. It cools by emitting dash. The answer is option B, IR rays. 15th question. 1 angstrom unit is equal to dash. The answer is 10 to the power minus 10 meter. 16th question. The wavelength 5 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter corresponds to dash. The answer is visible spectrum. 17th question. The wavelength range of visible spectrum is dash. The answer is option A, 3.8 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter to 7.8 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter. 18th question. Which of the following is correct? Option B, red plus blue gives magenta. 19th question. The ratio of the wavelength of two colors is 2:3. The ratio of the amount of these colors scattered by air molecule is dash. The answer is 3 to the power 4 is to 2 to the power 4. Here we can use the Rayleigh scattering formula. Amount of scattering is inversely proportional to the fourth power of the wavelength. 20th question. Blue of the sky is due to dash. Option D, scattering of light. 21st question. The particles emitted during photoelectric emission are dash. The answer is option B, electrons. 22nd question. The number of photoelectrons emitted during photoelectric emission depends on the dash. The answer is option B, intensity of the incident light. 23rd question. The maximum kinetic energy of photoelectrons depends on dash. The answer is option A, frequency of the light. 24th question. Which color deviates the most on passing through a prism? The answer is option B, blue. 25th question. The complementary color of yellow light is dash. The answer is option B, blue. 26th question. Electrical energy is converted into mechanical energy in a dash. The answer is option C, motor. 27th question. A galvanometer is converted into an ammeter by connecting dash. The answer is option B, a low resistance in parallel. 28th question. The output and input voltages in a transformer are 25 volt and 5 volt. The transformer ratio is dash. The answer is option C, 5. Here we can use the transformer ratio formula. Ns, that is number of turns in the secondary coil, divided by Np, number of turns in the primary coil, which is equal to Vs divided by Vp, which is equal to Ip divided by Is, which is equal to K. From this, K equal to Vs divided by Vp. By substituting the values, we get the answer as 5. 29th question. A transformer is used to convert 240 volt into 12 volt. If there are 200 turns in the primary coil, the number of turns in the secondary coil is dash. The answer is option A, 100. Here also we can use the transformer ratio formula. Ns divided by Np equal to Vs divided by Vp. From this, Ns equal to Vs divided by Vp into Np. By substituting the values, we get the answer as 100. 30th question. Which of the following is based on electromagnetic induction? The answer is Option A, transformer. 31st question. The working of the galvanometer is based on dash. The answer is option B, mechanical effect of electric current. 32nd question. The direction of induced current is given by dash. The answer is option A, Lenz's law. 33rd question. Intermolecular force of attraction exists between the molecules separated by a distance of about dash. The answer is option C, 10 to the power minus 9 meter. 34th question. The restoring force per unit area of a deformed body is known as dash. The answer is option B, stress. 35th question. Bernoulli's theorem is a consequence of the law of conservation of dash. The answer is option B, energy. 36th question. An object entering the Earth's atmosphere at a high velocity catches fire due to dash. The answer is viscosity of air. 37th question. For a streamlined flow, the value of Reynolds number is dash. The answer is option C, below 2000. 38th question. The velocity of every liquid particle crossing a particular point inside a pipe is the same. The Reynolds number for this type of flow will be ranging from dash. The answer is option B, 0 to 2000. 39th question. The unit of coefficient of viscosity is dash. The answer is option A, NSM to the power minus 2. 40th question. According to Proud's model, the atoms of all elements are made up of dash. The answer is option D, hydrogen atom. 41th question. The radius of an atom is about dash. The answer is option C, 10 to the power minus 10 meter. 42nd question. Large angle scattering of alpha particles shows that. The answer is option B, a positive charge is concentrated only at the center of an atom. 43rd question. The nuclear radius is dash. The answer is option A, 10 to the power minus 14 meter. 44th question. Nuclear radius is dash times smaller than the radius of the atom. The answer is option C, 10,000. 45th question. Electrons are embedded in a positively charged sphere. Who suggested this? The answer is option A, Thomson. 46th question. The mass of a neutron is dash. The answer is option C, 1.675 into 10 to the power minus 27 kilogram. 47th question. The formula for nuclear radius is dash. The answer is option C, R equal to R naught A to the power 1 by 3. 48th question. A chain reaction is possible when the mass of the fuel is greater than dash. The answer is option D, critical mass. 49th question. A controlled chain reaction takes place in dash. The answer is option B, nuclear reactor. 50th question. The coolant used in a nuclear reactor is dash. The answer is option C, heavy water. 51st question. Who first observed the natural radioactivity? The answer is option A, Henry Becquerel. 52nd question. The transmutation of a non-radioactive element into a radioactive element is called dash. The answer is option B, artificial radioactivity. 53rd question. Who discovered X-rays? The answer is W.C. Rontgen. 54th question. The production of X-rays requires dash. The answer is option A, high voltage and low pressure. 55th question. The slowest among the following are dash. The answer is option A, alpha particles. 56th question. The radiation of the maximum ionizing power are dash. The answer is option D, alpha particles. 57th question. The weakest among the basic forces of nature is dash. The answer is option B, gravitational force. 58th question. Natural radioactivity occurs in elements of atomic number greater than dash. The answer is option B, 82. 59th question. Among the following, the force that is charge independent is dash. The answer is option C, nuclear force. 60th question. The radioisotope used to treat anemia in the human body is dash. The answer is option B, Fe59. 61st question. The geocentric theory was proposed by. The answer is option A, Ptolemy. 62nd question. According to the law of periods, T squared is directly proportional to R cube. 63rd question. The value of universal gravitational constant G is dash. The answer is option C, 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter squared per kilogram squared. 64th question. The unit of G is option C, Nm squared kg to the power minus 2. 65th question. The objects which are found between orbits of Mars and Jupiter are dash. The answer is option D, asteroids. 66th question. The shape of our galaxy is dash. The answer is option B, spiral. Thank you.